Alright, so today, or this video I should say, we're going to work on my 95 Chevy half-ton. So I've showed this a little bit on the channel before. I think it was this summer I did a little bit of work. I painted the hood, changed the fender, tailgate, a few things like that. So, pretty much stock truck. It's got 350 in it, automatic 4x4. I got blocks in the back, crank torsion bars. It's got oversized tires on it. I did the exhaust on it. It's got a cowl hood. Otherwise, it is what it is. It's got 350,000 kilometers on it, so I don't even know what that is in miles, but lots. You know, it's in pretty good shape. I like it. I got a plow for it and stuff like that, so I've been, you know, taking care of it. Starting to get a little bit of rust coming through the wheel wells on the back. Yeah, probably needs a box eventually. If I find a blue one, I'll buy it and slap it on there. So what we're doing, I actually already recorded this. I'll probably start with this clip and then jump into a different clip. I put in a stereo, Bluetooth, because let's be honest, it's 2019. I should probably have that, so I put that in there. The next thing, in Manitoba here, we had to have immobilizers put in old cars. Probably about 10 years ago or something like that. A lot of auto theft. So what it's got some janky, alarm system-y type thing that the province maybe put in, so you could actually insure it. And on the key, it has this little tab, or whatever, this little key fob, and you gotta, you know, run around some little sensor and stuff like that. It's been having issues starting and stuff. I've changed the starter. I've done a bunch of screwing around. It's not happy. Just this year, you actually don't have to have it anymore. So I'm gonna pull it out. And what it does, basically, it's a little magic box that bypasses, I think on this one, the coil, the fuel pump, a few little things like that, so just nothing will happen. I bought a cheap command start off of Amazon, so I assume I'm going to get a wiring diagram on this thing, and once I pull down the immobilizer, a lot of the same wires should intersect, so I figure I'll pull that out, maybe I'll wire that up, and that's that. The big thing in this truck that drives me nuts, I've done cab corners on it. The sills here, they're rotted out. And you don't even really notice it once the door's closed and all that. But what happens is in the summertime you're wearing shorts and you'll drag your shin on that or the back of your leg and it hurts. And I want to try and keep this thing in nice shape. I ordered these up. So they're actually full length patches. I believe this is exactly how it's going to sit on the truck. So it actually goes back into the cab corner. So I'm just going to use the door opening part of it, but should be pretty good, being Canada apart. So I'm going to work on that. So that's the plan. So next thing you guys see is me changing that radio, kind of how I put it in and out. Pretty simple, it works great, I like it. And then, I don't know, I'm probably going to do some grinding on this. I don't know if I'll get a whole lot done today. I actually just finished a video on 57, edited it and put it up and all that, but I was coming out here just to move the cars around. And then, I don't know, this might be the last to see of this. I'll try and put it in, but if it goes sideways, I'm not going to worry about it too much. I just want to rip out that old immobilizer for the time being. So yeah, I'll get to it. We'll get the radio in, and then we'll hacking and grinding. Unfortunately, this thing, it's so big. It's almost at the toolbox. And it's right back against the door. I need more room. It's just a Chevy truck. Barely fits in here. But supposed to be decent weather tomorrow, which might be easier. I can just back this thing out a couple of feet. Then I have all the room in the world. I'm not going to do a crazy good job. I'm just going to chop out the rust, put it in, weld it, quick coat of filler. Underneath is actually not too bad. Weld it in there, undercoat it, call her done. So yeah, should be a fun project. What's going on, guys? So I'm going to try a new thing. I'm actually going to kind of film two videos at the same time. Mostly because the 57's pissing me off and I don't want to work on it right now. So I'm gonna work on this 95 Chevy half-ton I got. This thing's got just an old stereo in there. I got some cheapy unit off Amazon, but it's got Bluetooth, hook up to my phone, stuff like that. And I also ordered a command start for this thing because it's cold here and I'm a little soft. And at one point they made me put in an immobilizer, which is now no longer needed. So while I put in the command start, I'm gonna take the immobilizer out at the same time. But I'm not gonna start hacking and chopping today. I do want to put the radio in because that's pretty easy. This thing was like 50 bucks off Amazon, some company I've never heard of. I don't even know. Nondescript box. But yeah, it should do everything I want. These things are half the size I remember them being, but it's got a backup camera and all. I don't know what I'll install there, but I want Bluetooth. I'll listen to my phone and talk to people without risking a big ticket here. So I'll rip this one out, kind of show you what it's like, and I'll start crimping some wires together. So I've had this thing apart a bazillion times, doing radio, and I think I've changed a bunch of other things here, but basically it's just got a bunch of clips, pops out. I have a little bit of wiring there for my plow, and then if you want you can just take off this connector there for the headlights. Otherwise I'll probably just kind of tuck it out of the way because there's lots of room. I'm hoping this one will just pop out. I'll be able to look at the wiring and join the new stuff in. So just like that's in. This is it's a pretty cheap unit, but it seems to do what it's supposed to, I guess. It's got auxiliary in, and when you hook up your Bluetooth, it connects. So I don't know. Seems like it does something, I guess. I'm not really too sure what to make of it just yet, but I'll try it out, put this thing all back together. I didn't wire up the backup camera. It looks pretty simple, but you gotta hook up to the backup lights. I don't know if I'm that motivated to do that or not. So I think that's it for now. I'm gonna go back to the 57 after having a little win here, but that'll be on a different video. You guys have probably already watched at this point. And I'm gonna know I'll get into the immobilizer or rockers next, but it'll be something. Okay, so to show you kind of how this works, I got the door kind of half closed, so you can see the rocker. It goes up to the front there. Hopefully it won't fall off when I open the door. Gentle. So pretty simple. It just kind of sleeves over. And like I said, it runs all the way back here, which I'm not going to use. I'm probably going to snip it, you know, right around here. I'll just join it to this, because this is a brand new panel. I welded it in. You probably see my body work. It's a little rough right there, and I just joined it where that molding kind of goes. So this just kind of pops off. And you can see I actually have really good metal all up in here. So I'm going to grind this down. I'm thinking I'm probably just going to kind of join it around the flat. Something like that. And I'll probably just, you know, lap bolt it right over top. And then the front, I don't know what I'm going to do there. I don't really want to pull the door off to get in there perfectly, so I'll see how motivated I am. Again, I'm pretty sure it's actually pretty solid metal up there too. So I might just kind of weld it there and then along underneath. Give it a quick grind, quick little coat of filler. I should be able to kind of shmoo on a little bit of undercoating, because that's all this is. It's just black undercoating, I think. And yeah, otherwise, I mean, the truck's in really good shape. The inside of the doors are nice and everything. Just, I guess, where all the rocks and shit toss up, they all rot out. And here, man, the sand and all that crap we get on the roads eats these things away in the winter. So I'll get this kind of ground down. I'll probably trim this panel up, you know, get it screwed in there so I can kind of show you what I'm doing. And yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm gonna add it pretty hard. I'm getting lots done. I didn't do a whole lot of filming because it's ugly work, but you can see by the mess on the ground, I ended up cutting kind of the rusty part of the rocker there, and then that's the inner rocker, so whatever was rusty there, I cut a line across. I ended up taking my panel and I bobbed the end off, which I'm going to use because it, you know, it's quite long. And I'm going to have to join the inner rocker down because it's rotted away, so I'm just going to flatten that out and buzz in those strips. This should just fit kind of like this. All right, do a little one-handed, but ultimately that's the general idea. So what I'll probably do is I got a little more trimming to do, but I'll just draw a line with a marker, run it across. Then once I have my line, I'll just zip in there with the zip cut, make it nice and flat. Then I have those clamps, those metal clamps. They'll just go through and they'll clamp both. So I'll probably be able to butt weld this on. So I'll weld that in nice. I'll be able to just grind it down. Very small amount of filler. And then I'm just gonna, I don't know if it's factory, it's probably not the right way of doing it. I'm gonna tag into my cab corner so it'll be joined on the bottom. It won't have a seam at the bottom. And then at the front of the rocker was actually in decent shape. So same thing, it had a little lip around it, which I cut off. So I'm just gonna kind of weld it the whole way down, and that'll be just fine. So it'll be solid welded front and back, and across here, and on the back side also I'll just put that little piece in, and it should be good. Well, battery's dead in the light there, but I think that's it for me. I know I didn't film a whole lot today, but it was a lot of ugly work. So I'll be back at it tomorrow, hopefully. I should be able to knock this one out tomorrow. Shouldn't be too much work. And yeah, my advice, start on the passenger side. That way if you butcher it, you don't gotta see it every time you get in the truck. Alright guys, I'll be back at it tomorrow. Okay, I don't know where I left off yesterday. I got off work and I started working it right away. Ultimately, I just trimmed down a little bit more of the sill. This is right here what I took off. So it's still kind of grotty on the bottom, so I made sure I got nice clean metal. Trimmed my panel to fit. Got just a few clamps holding it in place, and then a couple of vice grips, and I've kind of cleaned up all the metal. So I just went up a little bit. I should be able to kind of get it started in there. A few tack welds. Once it's in there, I can pull this out. Then I can solid weld the whole thing in, and then grind it down. Give it a quick shmoo of filler. Should just do this little bit right there. Little touch-up paint. I should be done. I'm hoping I can get this knocked out tonight. So we'll see what goes. But I'll get to welding. Kind of bring you guys back. You can kind of see the progress I'm going to make once I get these little clamps out. And hopefully this is still solid metal. It was pretty good. The front was a little soft, and it's also really hard to get in there, so I'm not too sure what I'm going to do just there yet. But I'll start on this side because it's easy. Okay, so it's been a couple hours. Made a fair bit of progress. I welded on the panel, ground it all down. I figured you guys have seen that enough times on the 55 and all that, but I just kind of butt welded it solid. I've done better repairs, but it'll be fine. On the back side, I ended up using just some leftover tin and made my own kind of inner rocker there. So I'll seam seal that and show you that after or whatever. I'm just going to put a quick coat of filler on, just kind of rough it out, because I think I'm just going to probably undercoat this or rocker guard it, because that's what it was before and stuff. And I'm going to do the underside, and the whole bottom of the truck under this molding is rocker guard anyways. So I'll put a quick coat of filler on just so it won't notice it. Probably don't even really need it, but just so it looks a little nicer. I do have some blue touch-up paint. I might dust in just from like this kind of line here. This little section in blue, and the rest will be rocker guard. So I'll get the filler on there, get it all sanded down, and look like brand new. Alright guys, so I'm making kind of a fair bit of progress here. So I got a quick coat of filler on. I actually start working on the other side. I can kind of show you that, but I figure I'd lie my back. Just kind of show you what I did in there. So it's kind of hard to see, but basically I just had that extra steel, so I put it in there, welded it in, gave it a ugly coating of seam sealer. Once it's undercoated, it'll be fine. And it's kind of just for show anyways. I don't think it's structural or doing any exhaust gases. The driver's side, I just started on it while I'm waiting on the filler to dry. I should be able to sand it right away, but it wasn't quite as bad. It's actually in decent shape up at the front here, and I didn't have to cut nearly as far down. And same thing with the inner rocker, it's not as bad either. So I don't know, I'll kind of clean this all up. I just kind of really rough cut it. I'll have to get the other sill fit in, same thing. I'll just weld it to the cab corner in the front here. I might even just kind of splice it in there, because it's a pain to get in there and grind and sand and cut. Weld it across again, a little bit of filler, and go from there. But I think I'll do that part tomorrow. I want to sand the other side, just give her some 120, a little bit of paint. She'll be done for the night. So it's sanded down, wiped down, all ready to go. I got this little can of touch-up paint I had mixed up when I changed the fender from Rondex. So it's indigo blue. It won't be perfect, because I mean this is the factory color, and obviously it's kind of worn down. So I'm just going to kind of dust it in here. I'm not even going to mask anything, because I want it to kind of roll over a little bit there. I'll go through that, and I'm just going to go down to right about there where the door's going to hide. Put a couple coats on and let that dry overnight. And then tomorrow, I can just kind of run a quick masking line there, close the door, and I'll rocker guard everything else. And it'll look just fine. It'll be blue on the inside, rocker guard on the outside, and hopefully no one will be the wiser. I can work on the other side again. So there it is. It's all painted up. Obviously it's nice and shiny and really metallic because it's still wet. It'll dull out a little bit there as it dries. You can kind of see on the top it's not quite as crazy. Also, it's very dirty. So once that's all done, I can clean up the rest of the door jamb. leave that dry overnight. Just kind of show you guys, like I did the fender just with the rattle can, because when I originally got it, this part of the fender here was brown or something like that, so I scuffed it up and shot it. And I mean, it's a little darker, I guess, because it's newer, but it looks good enough for me. But that's it for me tonight. I'll be back at it tomorrow after stuff dries up after work. A little Saturday afternoon in the garage. In the meantime, like, subscribe, do all those good things, and see you guys tomorrow afternoon. Alright, what's going on, guys? So it's Saturday afternoon, just got off work. I just moved the truck over passenger side so I get more room, and I end up driving over a tube of seam sealer, so that's pretty awesome. But this is what the truck looks like now, so it's all kind of painted up, a little bit too shiny for my liking, but I'm sure that'll get nice and dirtied up. I ended up undercoating everything, or rocker guarding it. Brand new coat on there. Woo! So it looks good. I can start on the other side. I'm not going to go through all the steps of it, obviously already done there. I'll chop it all up, get it all kind of together, and you bring it back near the end. We'll finish this sucker off. Alright, just like that, a few hours later, cut out, welded in, body worked and primed. I didn't prime the other side, I didn't think it'd be a big deal, but this paint does not cover very well, so it took about 12 coats, so hopefully this will be just a couple of coats. Let it dry, wipe down everything that's rocker guarded, give it a quick coat, and life should be good. So it's a nice little weekend project. Should make a really big difference. Like I said, on these trucks you don't really notice it, but I mean, you can do this on same principle for any truck, and really makes a big difference. Alright. So, a couple coats of paint. Give her a quick coat of clear. Let's try and keep this door from closing all the way. Did the same thing. Hit the rockers and all that with some rocker guard, so it's all kind of wet. I think that's it for me today. I'm going to let this harden up overnight, because tomorrow I want to start getting under the dash there, taking that immobilizer out. And I don't want to be messing around with this wet paint right now. So, that's it for me today. Hope you guys liked the video. Like I said, you know, a couple days in the garage, you can make an old truck look new again, right? So, yeah, that's it for me. See you guys on the next one. Action.
Hi friends! Thanks so much for all the birthday love. I felt it in my heart. So thank you. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Bye!